Welcome to today's capsule, which would be the fundamentals of grievances and issues management. Today, we're going to look at managing our issues and actually the workflow behind them. I'm sure as a person that's managing more than one issue at times, you'd probably want to be able to assess the priority of them or the risks so you know where to focus your time. And maybe as well, it may be helpful to see where your issues are at and when they're expected to be resolved. And what I mean by where they're at is, are they open, in progress? Are they solved? If you're looking for ways to track your priority, the risk of an issue, or where it is in your workflow, this is the video for you. Really excited to show you. Let's get started. So when an issue is created, you'll notice right under the title that it is set to open. Every time an issue is created, it is set to open. We need to take a step to start moving it down the process. I'm actually going to navigate to the Help Center just to explain that process a little bit and take you step by step. So here we are in the Help Center. I'm in the Workflow for Issues article. And if I expand this chart, we're right here at the green dot right now. We are in an open issue. We just created one. Now it's open, and we need to now assess it to move it to in progress, and then we can reassess it as the issue progresses as many times as we need. I'll demonstrate that. And at some point, we're going to move over to the closed section. So again, we just did the green dot, which is creation, and now we've created a issue that is open, and we're going to now assess it and maybe reassess it. And now we are going to then at some point close it off. Let's go back to the system and begin the first step. Now, we're going to go over how to assess this issue and move it from open to in progress. And I say assess because that's the first step we need to take in order to begin acknowledging and working on this issue. So how we do that is most of the workflow actually will be done in the actions menu right here in the top right hand corner. So once you click on it, you'll notice that we have a few titles in the menu to help. We are going to be focusing on the workflow area for now, and you'll see that our only option to progress it is to assess this issue. So let's go ahead and click assess and pull up the first menu. Now, these fields can be turned on to be mandatory. They could be optional. I have them all set to optional. I could just click assess if I wanted to and move this to in progress if I so choose, but there's a lot of useful information here that we can capture, such as the risk this issue would pose, maybe to become a grievance or a bigger problem, or to your project, and the priority that should be undertaken on this so that the proper time is invested on this issue. You can even set a target date that you're hoping to solve it by. And we have a few other custom fields just to show you we can add in a few other things if needed. So to start our assessment, we're going to pick the assessment date. It's today. It's automatically set. I'm going to leave it as today. We can assign some subject categories, much like we could to communications, maybe saying that this is related to safety because there's exposed wires. This is the same list of subject categories that's available when you create a communication. We can assign a risk, exposed wires, and saying that we might need to shut down the grid is probably very critical. We can then assign a priority to it as well, saying this is a high priority. We need to focus on this. And then maybe we say our target date for resolution is in 2 weeks. It needs to be done as soon as possible. We could leave comments saying needs to be solved ASAP. And then all we need to do is click assess. And then please note the open status will now change from open to in progress. And we just completed our first step of the workflow. Now that the issue's in progress, we have a few options available to us on the left-hand side, such as the assessment menu making a reappearance, and this is where our assessment is actually stored, the one that we just did to move it in progress. We can make supporting analytics on these risks and priorities to help visualize and to give you, I guess, a more quick way of identifying what needs to be done and pulling these lists just at a click of a button. We also have the follow-up menu, the root cause, making an appearance as well. We'll get to those in a quick minute. I'm going to show you how we could start maybe managing this issue. We just received word from our field team, and they called us letting us know that they were able to cover the wire for now, and we won't need to shut the grid down. So maybe we need to enter that communication and then reassess this issue. So what we could do is we can open up the engagements menu right here, and we can go to communications and hit the green plus button, and we could just hit create a new record directly inside the issue. So I'm going to fill out the phone call with some details, and I'll just see you on the other side of the form. Now, as you can see, I saved a communication directly inside of my issue saying that I had a phone call on this and the contractor is able to cover the wire for now, blocking further damage to it. And then the staff member that called me, I listed them there. So we can actually go in now and reassess our issue. And we could do that in the actions menu here by clicking reassess. Now, what we could do is just change the assessment date to today again, and then we could just say now the risk is medium and the priority is medium. We have some warning signs up, the wire's covered, all good. Now we just need to fix it. Now, when we reassess it, we can go back to our assessment, and you'll see that our old one was stored, and now our one that we just did is now present and upfront. And this is a good way to show the history of how maybe the risk or maybe the priority was downgraded due to some of the efforts that you took to solve this issue. So we're back at the Help Center chart now. So we just kind of remained in this box where we had an open issue. We assessed it, kind of managed it a bit, reassessed it based on some new information. Now we just were informed that the wire has been dug further underground and maybe some metal or something was put over it to stop erosion from happening again. And we're now ready to say that this issue is closed. It's been resolved. So we're going to try to move our issue from here to the closed area now. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Now, the one option that I do want to highlight first is that if we go to our actions menu, maybe this needs to be resolved outside of our company's capacity, we can mark this just saying it's been referred to an external mechanism. I can click this and I can say sent to contractor for repairs and then just click refer. And you'll notice that it goes from in progress and now it adds the flag refer to external mechanism. And if we go to our action history, this is all reflected there, that assessment, the reassessment, and then that we referred it to an external mechanism. Now, if I wanted to enter a follow-up of my own before we close off this issue, I can use the follow-up section here just by hovering over and clicking this green plus button. And I could say that this is a feedback that we sent to stakeholder, this is a general note I'm making, or an action that was taken. I'm going to say that this was an action. I did it today. It was me. I did not talk to any stakeholders, and I'll say inspected, work done, signed off, all good. So now we're ready to close our issue. So I can hit save, and then we can go to the follow-up area here, and we can see a history of kind of the follow-ups or some of the actions taken as well. So now that we're ready to close our issue, we can do so in the actions menu here at the top. Even if it's in referred to external mechanism, we can go ahead and go right to close, or if it's in progress, the option is just under the refer to external mechanism options. So we can hit close, but one thing I do want to highlight is, say this didn't get solved in a timely manner, it turned into a big safety issue, someone got hurt. We do have the option to convert an issue into a grievance just by clicking on it, and it will open the form and fill out some of the information. More to come in one of the videos in this capsule. So now we're ready to close. Let's go ahead to the actions menu, hit close. We could say the resolution time and date was today. I completed my inspection at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2:30 to be exact. No stakeholder satisfaction. We didn't let any stakeholders know about the issue. We could say it was resolved, and all we need to do is click close, and you'll notice now that our issue has closed off. You're also noticing I can't link any communications, the option's not there. I can't enter any more follow-ups. I don't have the option to reassess. I can convert it to a grievance still, but if I want those options available to me, I will need to reopen the issue. And that's it for our video today on the issues and issues workflow. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something new, and we'll see you again soon.